Well, good afternoon, everybody. In thinking about what I'm going to talk about today, because I've gone on a very long journey with using e-learning, something which happened in the first semester and which surfaced again in the Faculty of Arts, in which the Department of Library Information Science resides, is the copyright issue. Now, today, I have not heard a peep out of anybody here about copyright compliance. So what actually happened is I am in the arts faculty's representative on the Senate Library Committee, and I don't know whether colleagues are aware that there was no copyright budget for 2015 for the University of the Western Cape. The Faculty of Arts lecturers are the biggest users of the copyright budget, primarily because they make use of course packs. Now, I talk here about the woes of copyright, because what has happened in the meantime is that the course packs, the printed course packs, have disappeared, and they've become the iCanva packs now. And in hearing conversations in the passageway and probably at the back of my mind, I have realized that we are not copyright compliant on iCanva. And you do not have to worry, I'm also a culprit of it. So what we've tended to do is to put the PDFs, the articles themselves, onto iCanva, which is exactly what a course pack does, is to put the articles, except in printed form, into a course pack. With this in mind, of course, and listening to my colleagues talking about a copyright compliance problem, I thought that I would bring the issue to this forum to consider. I mean, I've heard some wonderful presentations, and the enthusiasm from everybody here is great. But I would not like the representative of DARO to come and knock on the e-learning door and say, actually, let me into all of those courses on iCanva to check whether they are actually copyright compliant or not. So my talk today is actually quite different. Mine is, and I've called it a how-to, which I'm hoping that everybody here would be able to take away something very practical. And the way that I've structured the slides is in a very practical way. And perhaps the presentation could be emailed to everybody or put onto the iCanva site for everybody to use. So even though the slides are not very long, when you are employing the ideas on the slides, it may take a while. So I do say here, yes, when you're thinking about copyright, remember that in the educational sphere in which we are, that you are allowed what we call fair use. You're allowed, and you'll notice that the terminology, and I'm quoting here from the DARO document, not more than 9 instances of such multiple copying for one course for a particular class during any one term. Now, what that means is that, oh, and by the way, let me just say, I am not a copyright expert. We have lawyers in our midst for that. But what it means is that you as a lecturer, every time you go into a class, you are allowed to provide the students in your class with 9 instances of articles, let's say 9 articles, all right, without having to request copyright clearance. But as soon as you put it into a pack or into an online course, you have to request copyright clearance. So that is the one issue about copyright. The other thing is, and I think we have to realize that going the open access route, and more journals are being made open access, or what they call the gold route, which means that with those particular journals, you do not have to request copyright clearance, at least. But I think that as lecturers, we need to be aware of different licenses from the copyright license, which is the Creative Commons license. And I may be speaking to people who are quite aware of the Creative Commons license. The Creative Commons is a non-profit organization, and they enable, and I'm quoting here, sharing and use of creativity and knowledge. And I was quite happy to hear about the OER, the Open Educational Resources, which the dentistry person was using. Yeah, she's gone. And then to quote again from the Creative Commons organization, they say, copyright licenses and tools, the Creative Commons, that is, copyright license and tools, they forge a balance inside the traditional, sorry, I can't read, I haven't got my glasses on. The tools forge a balance inside the traditional all rights reserved, setting copyright law that copyright law creates. Our tools give everyone from individual creators to large companies and institutions a simple, standardized way to grant copyright permission to their creative work. So this is the Creative Commons license. Don't forget that with any copyrighted work, you may only let's say use one article or one section of the work, and you're not allowed to make any changes to that work. But with a Creative Commons license, they've got a continuum of different licenses, and the one that is most open is allowing you, for example, to translate a work, to amend a work, to create it in a different format, and so on. So just in case there are people, who are interested in the Creative Commons approach. So you can see that I have created the slideshow in a step-by-step process with screenshots, because it was, one always has to have what I call plan B in case the internet doesn't work or the Wi-Fi is slow. So let me just take you through this process. So what I have done is, and I don't expect you to read those words, I've said that if you want to be copyright compliant, and I've used the example of using the EBSCOhost database. You go to the EBSCOhost database and you select your article. You then, you can see there, let me just check quickly. Sorry, I'm going too fast. All right, so this is the EBSCOhost database. This is the article that I would like to add to my eCanva. So what I do is, you will notice on the right-hand side that, maybe not, in the right-hand side of the entry is a word called export. All right? So you're right there by the article, you select export, then what you do is, it will take you to this screen where it says direct export in .ris format. Direct export in .ris format. You then click on that link and you save the .ris to your downloads or wherever on your desktop. You then go to your eCanva, to your resources. You click on the Add button. We know we can add different things. For example, you can upload a file, you can create an HTML page, but you can also add, right at the bottom there, a citation list, like a reading list. All right? So you go there and you select Import Citations. And next to the Import Citations, you will see Import Citations in RIS format. Okay? So you select that, and then you are directed to choosing a file or, whatever else. You then, of course, choose a file from your desktop, which you had saved, and it gets added to your list of readings, as it were. Okay? So now you have a reading list. I have no seconds left. One more slide. In order for you to be able to link to this article, what you do is you select the article that you would like to link to. You click on the article title, and it will take you to the database, to the article where you had linked to from the export. You then, of course, simply have to click on the PDF in the left-hand column, where your students can now download the article for themselves. So in my understanding, that would make my course copyright compliant. I think, you can of course do that with a folder of readings, all right, not just one at a time. I would like to just pay homage to my part-time colleague who alerted me to the .ris extension. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sandy, for always giving us valuable.
I don't know whether people have no time for questions.
Any questions while we're setting up for the next speaker?
Legal people. Yes, absolutely. And that's why I said it's a slow, step-by-step process.
We can put it, Sandy's allowed us, we can put it into a Canva.
Yes.
And we're also going to make the videos available on YouTube, so you'll be listening to the presentation as well. Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, is that the same as just giving them the original, like you can go to a WHO website and get an article for them, and then take the URL of that original? Is that the same?
It depends how you're taking the URL.
Just copy and like how we've done it this tool for the RW course, we've been giving out links to the original. So we've not collected any articles and
Well, it
saved
depends. Are those articles actually available on Creative Commons license? Are they open? Or are they actually PDFs? It depends what license they are using. Yes.
Right.